Well, the last time these two met was at East End Park back in February, and the scoreline was memorable from a Dunfermline point of view for all the wrong reasons. Dunfermline 1, Celtic 8. Let's have a look at the teams for today. And Celtic without right back Mark Wilson, who broke a foot at Old Trafford on Wednesday night. Experienced Paul Telfer takes over. Yuri Jarosik and Aidan McGeady, who both started against Manchester United, are left on the bench here. Maciej Zurawski is there too. Scotland striker Kenny Miller returns to the starting lineup, and a starter for the first time this season is last season's Player of the Year, Sean Maloney. Dunfermline are happy to welcome back defender Greg Shields, who will be middleman in a back five, which also includes former Paris Saint-Germain player Sol Bamba. Those are the two changes from the team which came back twice to beat Kilmarnock last Saturday and move off the bottom of the SPL. Callum Woods joins an injury list which already includes Thompson, McIntyre, Whelan and Birchall. Owen Morrison's on the bench. And a minute's applause in memory of the great John Thompson. A moment of magic from Shinsuke Nakamura on Wednesday night at Old Trafford. Had Celtic all square at that stage, 2-2, before finally going down by 3 goals to 2. It was a wonderful free kick. Stevie Crawford, the prodigal son, has returned to Dunfermline, and he marked his debut second time around last weekend with a winner against Kilmarnock, 3-2. The referee for Celtic against Dunfermline is Eddie Smith. Dunfermline might still be feeling the shockwaves of that 8-1 drubbing at East End Park the last time these two came together, but they also have happy memories last season of coming here to Celtic Park and winning. That was back in November. And Greg Ross, who's on the bench here today, scored the only goal of that game. Celtic with lots of possession, lots of opportunities on that occasion. They couldn't make them count. And Dunfermline, who sat in to frustrate Celtic, broke away one crucial time and got the only goal of the game. An awkward challenge by Bamba on Jan Vergure Vesseling, and the first free kick of the match. Steve McManus and Gary Caldwell step forward from the back immediately. The first threat on the Dunfermline goal in from Nakamura. It's not a great delivery by anyone's standards. It was Gary Mason who cleared it. Scott Wilson's header. Getting tight there on Kenny Miller. Lee Naylor impressive against Manchester United with the long throw. Greg Shields got it away. Back with Naylor. And it was, again, good tight defensive play from Dunfermline. Jim Hamilton with the diving header away. Sean Maloney, when his name was announced in the team, there was a big reaction from the Celtic supporters, happy to see him back. Stretching for the header with Shields. Good layoff from Miller to Gravison. Nakamura against Labont. Nakamura's delivery. Away by Shields. Naylor on the left foot, good strike. Good save. Doris de Vries flinging himself across with just 2.5 minutes gone, and Naylor not far away from his first Celtic goal. Took a bounce in front of the goalkeeper. Good strike, good save. And a corner for Celtic. The pressure not yet lifted for that Dunfermline defence. In from Nakamura, this time a more comfortable take for the Dutch keeper, formerly with Den Haag, and he's ousted Roddy McKenzie meantime from the number 1 slot. Lennon looking to dictate, but that's unlike him, a wayward pass which went straight at Jim Hamilton. Gary Mason. Bamba. Straight at Telfer, he lost possession to Labont. Stevie Crawford, and that was intended for Stephen Simmons, who'd stopped his run. Dunfermline will look to defend tightly, but they'll look to break quickly as well and get some good service up to Crawford and Hamilton. Two experienced campaigners signed by Jim Leishman. McManus to Caldwell. It's a good pass. Kenny Miller. Two Scotland colleagues combined. Now Naylor. Driven in with a lot of pace. Greg Shields was stretching for the header, and it's gone behind. Shields wearing the captain's armband, and Dunfermline happy to have him back in the side. Still a lot of key players missing for the Fife side. Nakamura's delivery, and took a deflection on its way over. And another corner kick to defend here. Stephen McManus lending his threat to the Celtic set piece. Nakamura again, and another good save from de Vries, who expected to be busy and not disappointed, and denying Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink his 4th Celtic goal. And he hasn't played 4 complete games yet. Dunfermline's free kick. Simmons and Young are there. And Gary Mason alongside. In a red strip that's almost luminous. That came off Sean Maloney, and he won't catch it. And Dunfermline have a corner. Looking to get back to full match fitness, match sharpness as well. Outstanding last season. Scott Wilson and Phil Maguire forwards. Sol Bamba there too, alongside Hamilton and Crawford. Gary Mason's corner. Wilson was waiting, but it was flicked away from him by Vennegoor of Hesselink. Kenny Miller off and running, outpacing Stephen Simmons. That's good work from Aaron Labont, defended that very well indeed, wins the free kick. Got his body between Miller and the ball, dealt with that smartly. Miller denied the opportunity. That's Lennon. Gravison. Nakamura steps away from Darren Young. Naylor. Very good of Hesselink. Lennon. Telfer deputising for Wilson. Lots of movement up front from Miller as ever. The high hanging cross from Telfer. Headed away from Maloney by Shields. Lennon makes himself available. Naylor's cross. Wilson there first. Scott Wilson, who hammers it down towards Jim Hamilton. And Hamilton means, of course, that Dunfermline do have some physical presence up front. And bags of experience as well. That's Bamba. Hamilton's flick. Offside given against Young. Darren Young scored for Dunfermline last weekend as they moved off the bottom of the table with that 3-2 win against Kilmarnock. Gordon Strachan disappointed in midweek that Celtic contributed to their own downfall at Old Trafford, but he was encouraged too, he had to be, by elements of that performance. Celtic here looking to strengthen their position at the top of the SPL. Nakamura. Gravison quiet so far. Lee Naylor has seen a lot of the ball in the first 10 minutes. Here's Simmons. The former Aberdeen midfielder, Young. That was Caldwell, and again. That was aimed at Svenigor of Hesselink, cleared by Young. Busy schedule coming up for Celtic with lots of massive matches in the Champions League, but they have to keep their full focus as well on matters domestic. Free kick for that trip. Good challenge, Young and Gravison. Dunfermline mixing it well in the early stages. If you let Celtic play, they will. Telfer's pass, Bamba read it and then gave it straight back to the Celtic defender. Nakamura away from Mason, deflected delivery. Greg Shields took a tumble in the penalty box. Nakamura on the right foot. Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink again, a major threat in the penalty box. And he's disappointed with himself. He sees this as a decent chance. And he failed to hit the target, but credit again to the defending. Although he doesn't look convinced. Hamilton's header. Caldwell back to Artur Boruc, just about his first touch of the ball, and he had plenty of those at Old Trafford in midweek. An outstanding performance from the Polish international keeper. Gordon Strachan was happy with his entire back four against Man United. Darren Young to Stephen Simmons. Gary Mason. Crawford drifting out wide. Forward goes Labonte. Poor pass. Nakamura drifting infield. Kenny Miller out wide. Lots of options for Celtic as they go forward. Lots of interchangeability. Dunfermline trying to keep track of all the movement, and that's Bamba. No frills, just getting rid of it. Newa surviving a half-hearted challenge, but he wouldn't get past Greg Shields as the Dunfermline skipper placed himself firmly in his path, and surely very fortunate indeed to escape there without a yellow card. Blatant. Celtic have the free kick, but they should also have had a caution against the name of Shields. What can Celtic make of this? It's Maloney, and it's all too easy for Boris de Vries. Then caught in two minds here, Maloney, between a cross and a shot, and in the end it was pretty much neither. Good challenge. Hamilton on Nakamura. But Dunfermline will want to keep it a little bit better than that when they have it. Given away by Gary Mason with a hurried pass. Paul Telfer will expect a run in the team in the next few weeks in the absence of Mark Wilson. Kenny Miller hopes to keep his place as well. Zurawski on the bench today. Nakamura looking to create, not like that. Stephen Simmons wanting too much time on the ball. But Dunfermline will be happy they're through the first 15 minutes without having conceded an early goal, which, had they done so, makes life very difficult for them. At the moment they can just try to contain and get upfield when they can. Caldwell and McManus hoping that they are growing as a partnership. Lee Naylor impresses with each match. Shields downfield, McManus. Telfer's pass, Miller's layoff, and now with Lee Naylor, who loves to get forward. A deep cross. Labonte dealt with it well. He started the game impressively. Nakamura, little shimmy, finds himself some room. That was for Jan Vennegood of Hesseling, and what an important touch that was. I think it was Phil Maguire who got his head to it. And Bamba this time. Telfer. Away by Young. Kept by Hamilton. It's better to Crawford, but nobody upfield for Dunfermline. And it's won back by Neil Lennon. Telfer probing. Good tidying up work by Phil Maguire, the former Aberdeen defender. Was down south with Doncaster Rovers before coming back to Dunfermline. Header, but Kenny Miller has it. Nakamura invites Telfer forward. Good cross for Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink. Headed away by Shields. But again, Dunfermline have given it away cheaply. Gravison lining up the shot, and it was a rasping effort too, which De Vries got to but couldn't hold on to. And quick reactions from Maguire to get rid of it. It was a terrific strike, and there was almost a chance for Celtic on the rebound. Gordon Strachan still waiting for that opening goal. Nakamura, Bamba, back to sender. Naylor. Nakamura's cross, Mason there. Everyone inside the final third for defending Dunfermline. And Labonte blocks Telfer's cross. Telfer's throw, headed away by Wilson. Back out wide again. Miller. Gravison. Miscue by Maloney. Hacked away by Dunfermline. But Jim Hamilton was a solitary figure upfield for them and couldn't get on the end of that. Sean Maloney. That was intended for Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, and Phil Maguire defending well. He's a very important figure for Dunfermline. Central in the back five. And that does Dunfermline no good at all, because immediately back in Celtic possession. And waves of Celtic attacks raining down on them. Maloney against Shields. Nakamura. That's a free kick given against Gary Mason, who protests his innocence because he knows this could be an excellent scoring opportunity for Celtic. And not exactly a crystal clear handball, but Eddie Smith said yes. Darren Young may be smiling there, but he'll be a trifle concerned about the possible repercussions here. Both Maloney and Nakamura, excellent strikers of a dead ball. Celtic looking to hit the front. It's Maloney, and it's just too high. It brushes the net on its way over. 21 minutes gone. Still looking to open his account for the new season. Not too far away. It didn't dip quickly enough for him. Dunfermline looking to draw the line between realism and ambition. They need to contain Celtic, they need to try to frustrate Celtic, but they also need to keep the ball, and they need outlets up the field, otherwise they're under almost constant pressure at the back. Miller makes his run, and it was matched by Maguire. Here's Simmons, shut down by Maloney. Flicked on by Hamilton. Simmons, ex of Celtic Boys Club before spending a long spell with Hearts, but not a regular starter at Tynecastle. That's why he's now a Dunfermline player. Lennon hurt in that challenge. Here's Young. Labont flicked on for Darren Young. Hamilton, no way through, as for once the red strips flooded forward. It's well won back by Jim Hamilton. I think it's the most players Dunfermline have had in forward positions since kick-off. Maguire. Back from Shields to Wilson. Hamilton again. Darren Young. Shooting opportunity for them. And fumbled round the post by Artur Boruc. Seemed to be confused by this one from Young, which was straight at the keeper. It seemed an easy catch, but he paddled it around the post instead. They surprised Celtic here last season. Could they do so again, I wonder? Gary Mason with the driven delivery. Phil Maguire's near post header, but he was never really over it, and it failed to hit the target. Maguire not the scorer of too many goals. A long ball from McManus. Bamba watched it all the way. Here's Labont. Telfer to Lennon. Celtic with all the possession they could want, but here's where they need creativity, invention, ideas. And there are lots of red shirts behind the ball. Caldwell to Nakamura. Labont trying to keep him away from that left foot. Crawford hammers it downfield. Lots of applause around the ground for the sighting of Bobo Baldé. Back on the bench for Celtic after 5 months out, injured. And his return, you would imagine, to top team duties not far away. Gary Caldwell might feel threatened by the sight of Baldé out warming up. Gravison and Lennon combining in central midfield. But Gravison has been policed pretty closely by Dunfermline so far. He's all over the pitch trying to find some room. That's easier said than done. And that was Labont closing down Telfer. Paul Telfer must see himself as a bit part player at the moment for Celtic, with Mark Wilson the favoured right back. With Wilson out injured, there's an opportunity for the experienced Telfer to play some games. It's all really hit and hope from Dunfermline upfield. Nothing orchestrated about their attacking movements. There have been very few of them so far. But they are encouraged by the scoreline with nearly 28 minutes played. Celtic still to find a breakthrough. Bamba leaping high for that header. The ball threads through the pass to Hamilton. Darren Young. Gary Mason, square of him. Back it goes to De Vries. It's not a joy to watch this with Dunfermline playing the containing game. But for them it's a question of a job to be done. Crawford for Hamilton. That was a half chance for the veteran striker. Signed from Motherwell, and the two strikers combining there, and just found a little glimmer of room there, Hamilton, and disappointed that he couldn't trouble Boritz. Naylor's pass to very good of Hesselink. He's a tough customer, the Dutchman. Takes a bit of shifting, as Dunfermline have just found out. Nakamura. Here he is again. Another crunching challenge, this time from Simmons. But he'll be well used to that. If not, he'll get used to it. Scott Wilson, well, he was racing over the halfway line. He looked around and realised there was nobody up ahead of him. No options. Possession gone. Telfer down the line. Bamba with a head start on Miller. Defends well. Maguire. Caldwell gets the better of Hamilton. Back from Gravison. Lennon in bags of time, operating in the centre circle. Telfer's cross deflected off Hamilton. Very good of Hesselink. Celtic got the break of the ball. It's Nakamura. It's Naylor. And it's Bamba. Back over the top of his own crossbar. Another corner kick conceded. Just wouldn't happen there for Celtic despite the pressure on the Dunfermline goal. Half an hour gone. Goalless meantime, but not for much longer. Stephen McManus has Celtic ahead with his second goal of the season. And the long wait for the Celtic fans is over. Nakamura's delivery, and he's so good at that, McManus. At the near post, got the better of Bamba and glanced his header home. Celtic ahead on 31 minutes. Wilson to Hamilton. Here's Simmons. Now, what change will that goal bring in the way Dunfermline have played so far? Will they still play a damage limitation game, or will they be a little more enterprising now? Celtic will certainly look to add to that opening goal. Maloney, Miller. Shields to Crawford. Maguire. Now Bamba. Shields pass, easily cut out by Naylor. Dunfermline have to do better than that. Nakamura not picked up. It's not a great idea. Very good of Hesselink. Leaves it to Telfer. Back in it comes for Kenny Miller. Good effort. That was a terrific header from Kenny Miller. He had to come back for it. But despite that, he managed to get a lot of power on it, and it was a good save by De Vries. Kenny Miller still waiting for that first Celtic goal. Nakamura, the short corner this time. Neil Lennon didn't make it work. Naylor, back for Nakamura. Stephen Crawford doing the defending. No pressure on the ball, and Paul Telfer gets it in. Gary Mason gets it clear. Naylor aiming at Miller. Great header. Terrific leap there from Kenny Miller to get above Bamba. Scott Wilson's pass not good enough. Sean Maloney eyeing up the shot, and instead the reverse pass for Nakamura. Good save by De Vries. The goalkeeper has done very well for Dunfermline, otherwise they would be more than one down. Lovely little pass from Maloney, and Nakamura denied. Simmons to Mason. Shields. And that was Stephen Simmons with a shot on target, but it was never going to find its way past Artur Boruc. Celtic looking for goal number 2. Maloney to Nakamura. Good save. Miller dropping deep to pick up possession. McManus launches it over the top for the forward rushing Naylor. His former Wolves teammate Kenny Miller. Caldwell's pass, excellent for Gravison. This could be dangerous for Dunfermline. Good handling from Jonas De Vries, and he is having a very impressive first half. But for him, Dunfermline would be in more serious trouble. Gordon Strachan satisfied that his team are ahead, but he'd like 1 or 2 more before too much longer. Gravison hits the deck. Free kick given against Simmons. Nakamura's pass for Kenny Miller. Good play from Bamba. And it didn't cross the line before De Vries cleared it, as the Celtic fans looked for a corner. The goal scorer McManus. Gary Caldwell, a measured pass into the feet of Miller. This time Nakamura the intended target. Strong play from Bamba, if not excellent distribution. One-way traffic in the first half at Celtic Park. Shields clears that delivery from Caldwell, who tries again. Out wide, this time intended for Naylor. Out of play by Hamilton. Miller back to Gravison. Good play from Scott Wilson. Good challenge from Naylor. Shooting opportunity here for Thomas Gravison. And denied his first Celtic goal by the thickness of the goalpost. And it had gone behind that time, but what a strike from Gravison. Dunfermline stood off him, and he powered the shot past De Vries. Back off the post. In the midst of all that, Jim Hamilton injured. And he's been one of Dunfermline's more impressive performers so far. We'd certainly like to keep him on the pitch if at all possible. He's been busy. A string of saves for Doris De Vries. That was how he hurt himself, coming off second best in that tussle with Lee Naylor. Not many empty seats to be found around Celtic Park, as ever. And the home support hoping their team can take another step towards another title. Got a pat on the back there from Thomas Gravison, which is probably like a kick from a mule, I'd imagine, for Nakamura. Five minutes left in the first half. Celtic 1-0 ahead and cruising. Manus with the only goal so far. Good challenge by Wilson and Miller. Kenny Miller doesn't mind chasing lost causes. Labont recovered well, and Danny Mason cleared, but it's back in Celtic's possession again. Telfer's cross way beyond everyone in the penalty box. And Dunfermline can sigh with relief for a moment. Hard work for Greg Shields and company at the back. Darren Young tries to get his foot on the ball, couldn't keep it. It's Sean Maloney, and a good block, an important one as well by Scott Wilson, as Sean Maloney pulled the trigger, just waiting for that half yard to get the strike on goal, and the Dunfermline defender flung himself in the way. Naylor goes outside Hamilton. That's a good ball in as well. If there had been a near post runner for Celtic, in the end it was an unchallenged take for De Vries. An industrious first half from Naylor. Shields to Young, who's picking up the pieces for Celtic, the skipper Neil Lennon. Nakamura to Gravison. The warning bells are sounding again for Dunfermline. Maloney, Nakamura. Kenny Miller has covered some mileage in this first half. Naylor's cross deep for Telfer. Was it a handball? The Celtic supporters certainly reckon so. Eddie Smith was unimpressed, but that looked to brush the right arm of Bamba. Shields and Hamilton. Mason. Darren Young. Total breakdown in communication there with Labont. Just about inside the final minute of the first half, and 1 minute to be added as well. I think Dunfermline will take the half-time whistle anytime you fancy. Constantly on the back foot. Free kick against Jim Hamilton. Lunging in against Sean Maloney. Maloney so strong on the ball. Miller with the deftest of touches from Nakamura, who tried to play it back to the Celtic striker. Maguire in the way. McManus unsure with the header. .45 minutes played into the one and only minute of stoppage time.
1 minute penalty time.
Celtic in total control of this game, and Gordon Strachan will look for a goal or two more in the second half to remove any possible doubts about the outcome. Hamilton's flick. Crawford tries to lay it off. It goes straight to Telfer. Nakamura dancing away from the challengers. Lennon to Maloney. I think these Dunfermline defenders will need to lie down in a darkened room at the interval. They've been under almost constant pressure right from kick-off. It's been damage limitation, it's worked to a degree until Stephen McManus struck with a header just after the half hour from Nakamura's corner, and the deadlock and Dunfermline's resistance broken at that point. It's the only goal so far, half-time at Celtic Park. It's Celtic 1, Dunfermline 0.
The Champions League is back, as is Celtic TV's TikTok. Join us for the instant reaction to all of Celtic's Champions League games straight after the final whistle. It's your chance to have your say on the night's events. Call us on 0845 602 5587, or you can email the channel celtictv@setanta.com. That's TikTok only on Celtic TV.
Tonight we're making our television debuts on Setanta Sports
Now you can see Ewan and Ruffy in action Mondays and Wednesdays on Setanta Sports.
I don't ever see the Romanovs ever selling one of their top players to a rival club in the SP. See that hairstyle of his on Setanta yesterday? He looked like Rona Dougal, you know, that comedian?
Yeah. Oh, the games on Setanta have been well tuned into that.
Oh, Setanta will be happy that you've plugged that for them.
The Real Radio phone-in Mondays and Wednesdays on Setanta Sports.
Keep up to date with all the action from the golfing world with Golf Today, our comprehensive weekly look at all the European and worldwide championship matches and tours. With complete scorecards, leaderboards, previews, highlights and reviews that will have you making the cut and swinging for the greens. Golf Today every week on Setanta Sports. 40 live games from Le Championnat on Setanta Sports. Can anyone steal the championship from Lyon, who are hoping to retain it for the 6th successive season? Le Championnat, live on Setanta Sports.
Scottish Leader, the official whisky of Celtic.
It's competition time now on Celtic TV, and on offer is 5 bottles of Scottish Leader traditional whisky. You have to nominate your fan of the week's. Call 0901 633 1888 from the UK or 1513 712 522 if you live in the Republic of Ireland, or text Celtic TV. Leave a space, then add the player's name of your choice, remembering to add your own name, to 85010 if you live in the UK. Entrants must be over 18 and lines close midnight on Friday.
Scottish Leader, the official whisky of Celtic.
Dunfermline will have to do something in this second half. 1-0 down, and Celtic threatening to move further clear. It's a Dunfermline system built for containment, but there's been very little from them when they've broken out. In fact, broken out is not a phrase I've used too often so far. They want to be safe and solid, I guess, for the first 5 or 10 minutes of the second half, but they really have to think about creating some opportunities in front of Artur Boruc, who's been a lonely soul in the Celtic goal. Stephen Simmons with the free kick. The head of Gary Caldwell powers it clear. Aaron Labont's throw. And Stevie Crawford lofted forward by Gary Mason. Gary Caldwell took a knock there in that tussle with Hamilton. Labont lumps it downfield. Back it comes from Caldwell. A glancing header from Bamba, which he didn't seem too sure about. Back with Doris de Vries, who was Dunfermline's top player in the first half by a distance. Hamilton's flick finds Crawford. The ricochet is almost working out for Dunfermline. Here's Gary Mason with Thomas Gravesen for company. Easy cutout for McManus. Celtic moving forward with Gravesen. Miller against Wilson. Miller's cross evading Vennegroove Hesselink. And there's a tug at the shirt of Labont, which was unlikely to do any great damage, but it does win Dunfermline a free kick. Dunfermline still operating the 5-3-2 formation. Stevie Crawford couldn't keep that in. And there's been little menace today from the man who scored the match winner last weekend. Neil Lennon able to dictate things in that holding midfield role. Naylor's pass up to Kenny Miller. Showed too much of it to Scott Wilson. And got a knock as well, Miller. A lot of the threat for Celtic has come down the left-hand side from Naylor. Simmons leaves it to Wilson. High and hopeful. McManus heads it down to Lennon. Crisp passing from Nakamura. The Celtic fans showing signs of impatience. Lee Naylor, the least heralded of the three transfer window signings, but he's shaping up well. Right back Telfer, poor pass. And the Celtic support's quick to let Paul Telfer know what they thought of that. Here's Bamba. The Shields. Jim Hamilton in pursuit. His challenge on McManus wins Dunfermline the throw. Quickly from Shields to Simmons, couldn't keep it. Hamilton tries to force it in. Celtic throw is the outcome, a disappointing outcome for Dunfermline. The moustacheless Jim Leishman. The result of a charity auction, the removal of the offending facial hair. Hope it was worth it. Here's Nakamura, exchanging passes with Telfer. Lovely reverse ball for Kenny Miller. Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink looked to get a nudge as the ball was played in towards him. Danger over for Dunfermline. Jim Hamilton, a good target man. Here he is again. Looking for Darren Young in the middle. Stevie Crawford not in the box. Hamilton, who's played for currently I think about half of the clubs in the SPL. He's been around the block once or twice. Artur Boruc impressed at the World Cup with Poland, and he was right up there for Celtic at Old Trafford in midweek as well. That's a good layoff from Hamilton to Simmons. But that pass all too easily from the Dunfermline point of view, cut out by Telfer. Nakamura's header. Hamilton and Crawford combine. Surging forward, Simmons. Moritz clears up to Nakamura, chested down by Gravison for Lennon. And Lee Naylor. Up to the ever-willing Kenny Miller. was unconventional from Stephen McManus, and he's still grounded. Looked to land awkwardly there, the Celtic defender, and steadily back to his feet. Tried to get his head to it, and hit the deck in a bit of pain. Knocks it down from Mason to Simmons. Now with Labonte, crossing from a deep area. That was beyond Crawford. And Dunfermline have to work now to try to get the ball back. Darren Young's challenge on Sean Maloney. Crawford wins it. Only Jim Hamilton is in front of him. Simmons. Hamilton to Crawford. Bamba. I'm not sure what the intention was there, but it's handed on a plate to Celtic. Free kick, Crawford on Gravison. Not interested in the apology, the Danish midfielder. Nutmeg on Hamilton. It's so comfortable, this, for Celtic, that it's easy to switch off. Stevie Crawford waiting for some red shirts to appear around about him. Jim Hamilton plays the ball to where he hoped would be a Dunfermline player. Wilson, Mason, Stevie Crawford with the shooting chance, and drags it well wide. He was maybe stung by surprise there, Crawford, to have the prospect of an effort on goal. And it was well wide. Young's header, collected by Naylor. Maloney gets it back from Miller. Bamba thumps it downfield. Kept in by Telfer. It's very quiet around Celtic Park. The Celtic supporters waiting patiently for goal number 2, and sometimes not so patiently. Hamilton to Labonte. Darren Young to Greg Shields. Scott Wilson, Stevie Crawford. Thumped out of play by Naylor. Jim Leishman on the touchline. Craig Robertson is out there as well. Just wonder if there's going to be a tactical tweak before too much longer, because Artur Boruc has not had a save to make. That's well won by Gary Caldwell. Miller to his right, and Jan Vennegood of Hesselink to his left, but he kept it for too long. Miller. Nakamura. Good challenge from Wilson, wins it. Back with Scott Wilson. Lots of experience, a player who was playing in the Champions League at 19 with Rangers. Simmons gives it away. Doesn't help Dunfermline that. Naylor to Gravison, let it slip under his boots. But he's able to recover quickly. And having a little screaming match with Gary Caldwell there as well at the same time. Lennon to Maloney. Can Sean Maloney make something happen? Not this time. He's impatient, Maloney, for things to work out. It might take him a few games before he can recover the sort of sharpness, the sort of skills he was showing last season for Gordon Strachan's team. Maloney was a big player. Yet again, it's a long, aimless ball, pumped forward by Bamba this time. And Celtic are on easy street. The only downside for the home team is the scoreline. And just some signs of frustration creeping in now and again for Celtic, because they haven't yet got the goal, which makes them totally confident of all 3 points. Hamilton to Lamont. Nakamura and Telfer looking to cut off the possible passes. Gravison's back heel, Maloney to Nakamura. Kenny Miller. The Celtic fans willing that one into the net, or trying to, but it just won't go so far for the Scotland striker, who leant back and struck it too high. Lamont couldn't keep that in. He had a year at Newcastle, and now learning his trade at Dunfermline. I think Boruc is glad of the company at the moment. That came off Hamilton. Kenny Miller settles for the throw. Aidan McGeady will be on shortly as replacement for Sean Maloney. Naylor's throw. Headed away by Shields. Aberdeen wanted him as part of the deal which took Stevie Cropper back to East End Park. There was never any prospect of him leaving. Naylor's throw again, headed away by Maguire this time. Plenty of time for Naylor to play it back in. Miller cuts it back, and Neil Lennon, surely not. Lennon goals don't come around too often, although the last one did come against Dunfermline in that 8-1 win at East End Park last season. Not this time for the Celtic skipper. Sean Maloney off as he continues his comeback from a lengthy injury absence, and Aidan McGeady is on the pitch, having failed to deliver the sparkle he normally brings at Old Trafford on Wednesday night. Dithering on the ball, Dunfermline, and Celtic have it. Caldwell with important Scotland games not far around the corner. Stephen McManus is on the fringe of the international scene as well. After Boruc's established at the World Cup as Poland's #1 ahead of Jerzy Dudek. Very good of Hesselink, the targets. Bamba doing the defending. Maguire clears. Straight back to the Dutchman. Nakamura. To Naylor. And Jan Vennegood of Hesselink with the header. But there was enough of a challenge from the combination of Maguire and Bamba to ensure that Vennegood of Hesselink didn't hit the target this time. He's done it 3 times already for Celtic since signing. Good signing for Gordon Strachan, the match winner against Hibs and Aberdeen, and the opening goal at Old Trafford against Manchester United. Not a bad start. Thomas Gravison still rueing his mistakes against Manchester United in the Champions League. McGeady's cross too long, flicked away by Labont. Celtic still have it with Telfer. Nakamura looking to work it onto the left foot. Now Gravison. Neil Lennon into Kenny Miller. Dunfermline standing firm. Hamilton and Labont. But again, Dunfermline unable to string any passes together. It's as if the Dunfermline mindset is so much on stopping Celtic playing that they are unable to play any football of their own. Still, miraculously, only 1 down. Clumsy challenge, that one by Darren Young. He didn't have to make it right on the touchline. Crunching into the back of Shunsuke Nakamura. Award of the year of Darren Young from Eddie Smith, but no card. And Nakamura felt that. Punishment might be coming though, not this time from Nakamura, the flighted cross, and he's still hobbling. I just wonder if he might be withdrawn before too much longer after that crunching challenge from Young. Midway through the second half, still Celtic 1 up against Dunfermline, courtesy of a first half header from Stephen McManus. push on Coldwell by Hamilton with the ball in mid-air. Here's Telfer. Celtic looking for a way through. Well, from back to front this time from Coldwell to very good of Hesselink. Nakamura with Lennon on a pacey overlap. What a phrase you often use. And De Vries on the end of the cutback. Hamilton's flick finds Crawford. Missed by Shields. The pass from Crawford. Nakamura looking to open things up from Miller. Didn't find the pass that time. Celtic looking tired at times here on the back of their Old Trafford exertions. A little bit of afters. Naylor having a word with Jim Hamilton, and the studs were showing from the Dunfermline striker. And Eddie Smith still showing a reluctance to flash a yellow card. Nakamura in field, Lennon first time for Miller. Telfer. Kenny Miller with Bamba at his back. In comes Gravison. Good challenge. It was Scott Wilson. Telfer's cross in at pace, spinning off the head of Wilson. There's Shields. And it falls from McGeady. Shot blocked. That's lifted the noise factor. McGeady leaving Darren Young in his trail. It's Gravison trying to place it inside the post, but the shot didn't carry enough pace to work its way beyond De Vries, similar to the effort he had at Aberdeen. Nakamura to Gravison, finding some room. Kenny Miller can't get past Scott Wilson. Good challenge. Darren Young gives it away to Nakamura. Good run from Naylor. Gets himself beyond Young. And Jan very good at Hessels. Hesselink flung himself at the cross. But it was taken by De Vries. Hamilton to Simmons, whose match is almost over. From the Hearts man again. Jim Hamilton trying to thread it through. From Bamba, and a good thump from De Vries. Mason, Crawford, and surely Dunfermline should sense that there is an opportunity for them here if they can start to play. Celtic looking a little bit sluggish at times, and 1-0 was a fragile advantage. Aaron Labont is down injured. Dunfermline were about to make a change. Wonder whether they'll hold fire on that until they find out about the severity of this. looks as if he's going to be okay. Labont, and maybe took a knock on the back of the thigh, and getting gingerly back to his feet. Dunfermline were keen to make a switch, but it's not going to happen quite yet. Heading towards the last quarter of an hour at Celtic Park, and still just that Stephen McManus header which separates these two in terms of scoreline. Although in terms of flow of the game, there's just about the length of the league between them. Thomas Gravison. Held up by Stephen Simmons. Celtic's free kick. The Danish midfielder was keen to take that quickly, but it's going to be the more measured approach instead. McManus and Caldwell bolstering the Celtic attack. In from Nakamura. Dunfermline survive. Crawford flicks it away, but not very far clear of the penalty box. McGeady. Then into Telfer, and out wide again with Nakamura. Right foot this time, and in went Steve McManus, and what a chance that was for goal number 2, his second of the match. And that would have surely sealed it for Celtic had he been able to power this header down rather than aim it too high. I think he feels that was a real opportunity to get his second of the game. Helped on by Hamilton. There's Stevie Crawford. He had a big save late on against Kilmarnock last weekend. He would love to do the same here. But Dunfermline have to get their passing much better than this. It was Labont the offender that time. Kenny Miller to Nakamura. Thomas Gravison. Getting forward again, Lee Naylor. Aidan McGeady. Naylor's cross. Kenny Miller's header was spinning up awkwardly, looking for a moment as if it might drop in under the crossbar. And De Vries was anxious for a moment before seeing it drop on the roof of the net. And Kenny Miller hoping he's not going to go through yet another goalless Celtic game. Stephen Simmons. Well, it was worth a go, wasn't it, with Artur Boruc a few yards off his line. It dropped very invitingly for the Dunfermline midfielder, and he had a go from long range, and it went just wide. Ultimately, of course, it doesn't matter what the scoreline is for Celtic here. If they win, they will go 4 points ahead at the top of the SPL for 24 hours at least. Certainly the Celtic fans were expecting more goals in the second half. And Gary Mason is hurt, having slid off the track around the pitch. Just lost his footing there and clattered down heavily.
Substitution for
Dunfermline make a change. Stevie Crawford has gone off, and Freddie Dakan takes his place. Mason, having had that meeting with the advertising boards, is back on. McGeady. Nakamura to Gravison. What next? Lennon plays it wide for Telfer. Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink waiting. Gravison was waiting as well. And the one man who wasn't waiting was Scott Wilson, who got it clear. Clumsy challenge by Mason into the back of Nakamura. Free kick conceded. Nakamura eyeing things up. Not according to plan for Shinsuke Nakamura. Failing to match up to his effort against Manchester United at Old Trafford and his other free kick goal this season against Kilmarnock. Enter Maciej Żurawski for Celtic, and that means Kenny Miller's going to have to wait a little bit longer for his first Celtic strike.
And coming on the wing also Maciej Żurawski.
Żurawski with 3 goals already for Celtic this season, 2 on the opening day. Dakon's first touch is with his arm. Free kick. Naylor's pass cut out by Shields. Simmons played that without looking. I wonder when we're going to get the Dunfermline cavalry charge. They're 1 down and currently in a pointless situation. You would imagine they would have to have a goal before we're finished, with Celtic just that solitary goal ahead. Meantime though, it's still all about containment. Damage limitation, you might call it. Nakamura's pass. Perfect for McGeady. That's Shields out of the equation. Scott Wilson as well. And the shot just carrying too much height. Quick feet, McGeady. Darting little movements. And he was leaning back as he struck it. Consultation on the touchline between the Dunfermline management team of Jim Leishman and Craig Robertson. Wonder if it's going to signify players further forward with only 6 or 7 minutes of regulation time left. Mason, Dakan on the byline. Caldwell on the end of the cutback. Maguire to Wilson. Hamilton's flick, Caldwell's clearance, getting out. Wilson for Hamilton, but it was McManus who won the header. McGeady to Nakamura, clever pass, good movement from the Japanese midfielder as well. Back with Nakamura. Lennon for Gravison. Too much on the cross.
Substitution for Dunfermline offers number 7.
Owen Morrison is coming on for Dunfermline. Scored against Rangers when he came on as a sub at East End Park, and was involved in a couple of the goals against Kilmarnock last weekend as well. Stephen Simmons off. Free kick given against Jim Hamilton, despite the fact it was the Dunfermline striker who ended up on the deck. Caldwell with the free kick, aimed at Jan Vennegood of Hesselink. Shields away to Dakan. Greg Shields again. Jim Hamilton the target. Caldwell to Bonnet. Five minutes left. Wilson's clearance, Lee Naylor's header. Now Shields. No challenge on Gary Caldwell. Here's Gary Mason, lofting it over the head of Lee Naylor. Freddie Dakan has got some pace. Now Mason. Stopped by Naylor. In went Shields. Kept in by Morrison. Mason's flick, and there were four in the box there for Dunfermline. If they could have made more of that. But it all fizzles out. Wilson, Mason, here's Bamba. Morrison, the substitute. Gary Mason couldn't control the pass. Now Nakamura to Zurawski. Blocked by Bamba. Corner kick. .88 minutes. Nakamura's corner, punched by De Vries. There's Neil Lennon, and it's just too high. Well, a couple of close squeaks today to yet another memorable moment, the Neil Lennon goal. And had it been a header, well, that would have been a serious collector's item. And De Vries was well off his line. Wilson to Dakan, trying to turn away from Naylor. Gets away from him in the second attempt. Telfer's header back to Bollocks. Vinegar of Hesselink with the header. Bamba to Darren Young. Gary Mason. Labont. Neil Lennon was the man in the way. We're in the 90th minute at Celtic Park. 2 to be added. Nakamura seeing the overlapping run of Telfer. Blocked by Aaron Labont. Celtic have yet another corner. It's almost over. Can't they put the icing on the cake? Telfer in. Away by Maguire. Another former Aberdeen player, Darren Young, chasing it. Here's Jim Hamilton. Dakan halted by a great challenge from Lee Naylor, perfectly timed. Into stoppage time now.
2 minutes has been added.
Shields lofts it forwards. Owen Morrison has it. Jim Hamilton. Greg Shields. Wanting to do too much on the ball, Owen Morrison. Loses out to Aidan McGeady. That's intended for Zurawski. The height of Bamba kept him out. Nakamura. McGeady's pass deflected. Maguire's diving header. Zurawski trying to get it back in the box. Now Telfer. Too much on the cross. Long chase for Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink. And a free kick. Right to the death given against Scott Wilson. Well, he had his hands on the back of Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, so I don't really see what cause for complaint he has. One final set piece. Nakamura content at this stage just to keep the ball. (1-0) Celtic. Not a thing of great beauty, but that's enough to take Gordon Strachan's team 4 points clear at the top of the SPL for 24 hours at least. Stephen McManus, the match winner, his second goal of the season, heading home. Shunsuke Nakamura's corner kick. He was the most determined here. It was he who attacked the ball most forcibly, and his header flashed past Doris De Vries on 31 minutes, and that proved to be the only goal of the game. McManus for Celtic, 1-0 final score, and Celtic 4 points in front at the top of the table.